Hello, Rohan.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
How you doing, mate?
I'm excellent, thank you. Such a privilege to speak with you. Thank you very much for your time.
You sound clear. You know, I've been going Monday's like my little interview night. I got like one more to go. And what's been a bummer is because you're so far or whatever, damn, so many phones maybe in the world, but I've been getting double. Like every time you talk, I hear it twice or three times, and I've been really frustrating me because I'm wondering sometimes am I giving the right answers in the interview. If I said something I shouldn't have said, I really mean it. At the time, I could not make out at all what we were talking about. So I hear you clear. What can I answer for you?
Oh, look, we're thrilled and feel genuinely privileged to be included in your upcoming One Last Time shows, which naturally prompts me to ask, of all places in the world you have played, why are we bestowed with this honour in Melbourne?
Well, listen to you with all the respect in your voice. You guys, little man, you know, into my full career with the boys, the response there has always been, I don't know what it is with us in Australia, but amazing. Like the minute we get off that 24-hour flight, which is hell on wheels, there would be just so many people there to meet us, and we would really feel the love, man. I mean, really a connection. It's been there since day one. I proudly have my platinums and golds of Australia on the wall, and I'm proud that I played with the Melbourne Symphony. That was like a moment in my career as a musician that was really upscale that I'll never forget till the day I died. Here I am, the only drummer. I was shaking in my boots up there because I was the only guy who was following it, 60 guys. And it was a magical moment. And so over the years now, Peter Hoffman was very cool. Has been calling and said, you know, all the members have been here over the years, all the members have been here. I would do anything to have you. And so finally, over these last years, I beat my cancer and did get breast cancer. So that will save your life. And I wrote a book and I went out and did autographs. And then I started really meeting the fans, like really meeting them one-on-one and hearing these amazing stories and seeing my tattoo in the most amazing places. And, you know, and just people waiting to get my autograph. I waited 30 years or so. I mean, I'm 71 now. And I was really touched by this 2 years. And finally, at 71, I go, you know, I really want to do this again. And I want to do it now because it ain't going to get any easier 72 or 3 or 4. And there's other projects I want to do and finish in my life now. And I see too many of us passing on much too quick, and that scares me. And I know now, you know, I'm on the same age as Rod Stewart and the Stones and Paul McCartney. So we're all at that period of our lives. And I love you where you are. I always felt respected there. I felt totally loved there. We've always got major cool response there. And out of all the places, I want to do it there. I want to do my next to last show will be in New York, but my home. But there's something about you guys that really loved us from the beginning. Well, a lot of people didn't actually.
Absolutely. And we hope you still have that feeling when you arrive in just a couple of weeks' time. We cannot wait to see you. But I must ask you, if I can, please, Peter, Gene Krupa, did much of Gene's influence right back early on travel with you throughout your career of an incredible 55 years?
God bless you. Absolutely. The man, you know, I idolize him. I heard him as a boy. And I went, man, who's playing them jungle drums? And I never heard drums like that in my life. And, you know, he inspired me beyond. And today, you know, recently I was asked in an interview about, you know, what was the big, how do I feel, what I've changed in the world of music. And I've gotten some major awards for making other drummers play drums. And you'd be amazed of the drummers like from Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses, and I could just keep going on and on and on, and it blows my mind that these guys are all super drummers and super bands that are making super livings because of me, because my drumming and my spirit, my heart, and my singing overwhelmed them as kids, and they grew up to be great drummers today. And I think, wow, how cool is that? You know, that's really cool. I'm proud to be a member of one of the biggest bands in the world. I'm proud of all that Hall of Fame stuff and all, but I really get taken back of the lives we've changed. Our fans are fanatical. I love it.
Oh, without a doubt. And no doubt the members of the 2003 Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, as you said, will be fanatical about coming to see you one last time.
I have some surprises, that I'm excited about doing. I've never done it my whole career. It's kind of like I'm really jumping in the water feet first, with the wind, all right, swim through it. But because it's, I'm trying stuff I've never done, so this is really a kind of Peter Criss night with me, and I'm spending it with you guys, and then the next night I'll spend it with my New Yorkers in June, and then that's it. I am 71. I do want to enjoy the rest of my family and my life and my over 50-something years I put into this business, and I thought, well, what a cool way to do it. It's a nice venue. It's small. It's intimate. I love that. I started out playing clubs with intimate audiences. I mean, the big stadiums are great, but you really never get close to the people. And I've gotten so close over these last years to signings, like go out and do autographs and stuff. That the great stories that the fans have told me that just really moved me immensely to. If I take a stroke, then I'll take it the best place in the world.
Yeah, beautifully put. And I must ask you, prompted by that comment, Peter, if it's not too personal a question, as a most celebrated musician, now providing your fans with not only the opportunity to come and see you for one last time, but also to break bread with you, there is an air of genuine appreciation from you to the fans. Has the adoration from your fans always travelled with you? Has it been a companion since 1974?
They're always so, I've written songs about the fans. It's like, maybe I could see we're lucky to have like Star Trek fans. They really are a Star Wars fan. They're even better than that. They're so giving. I've heard such heartfelt stories of, you just wouldn't believe. I mean, even when I wrote my book, people told me just amazing stories, just, about their mother just passing on. I would meet soldiers from the war that would say, my music got them through some stuff. I now get amazing letters from people with cancer because I'm a 10-year survivor and I'm a big guy that goes out every year. And I'm a major activist on men's breast cancer because there's not much, I don't think, word spread about this. And so I try very hard. And it's changed my life immensely in a religious way and a giving way. So I just feel it's kind of like I've been given so much stuff from the fans. I mean, I've got a wonderful life. I have a great wife. I have a wonderful home and all. But I really feel before I get in that stupid box, I really want to just play again. I want to really share my heart with Melbourne. I want to share it with you guys.
Oh, and we cannot wait. It's such a privilege. And, of course, feeling equally privileged will be our own homegrown Sisters Doll.
Yes. My lead guitarist, Michael McLaughlin, of 25 years. So Bruce Kulick told me he loves them. He said they're absolutely dynamite. So I've been working 5 weeks steady with a band here. They've been running me ragged, although I like the challenge because they're only 20. I'm 70, and I run them up the wall. So when they leave here, they're kind of beat up at the end of the rehearsal. So I know I'm still doing good. But I know Sisters. I just heard Sisters are excellent. I gave them a major list of music to learn, all the parts and stuff. So I know Michael said they're absolutely great, and Bruce said they were great. And I got a few other surprises of music going on up there. So it's going to be, I hope, really intimate and very personable. That's how I hope this comes off.
Oh, and which makes it so unmissable. I mean, to hear that Sisters Doll are there on Mike's recommendation, being a magnificent guitarist in his own right, and I realise that you're keeping some of what's going to happen under wraps to a degree. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've spoken to them on the phone, and they're like, they're like my sons. They're all so jazzed up. I gave them the songs, and they're like, oh my God, I love that song, and oh my God, I love that song. So they're very keyed up, which I am too. I have not felt this excited in years of playing again with different musicians and playing some of Peter Criss albums, stuff I've always wanted to do. And I got some homage songs that I'm going to play, of course, some of my homage songs I feel for the boys. And so it should be a good, cool night, man. I'm very excited.
It's wonderful. And of course, Friday the 12th of May, 2017 at the Sofitel in Melbourne will be such an exciting and sad event at the same time, but at very least a phenomenal celebration of your magnificent career. These shows, along with your appearances at the KISS convention, must prompt memories for you and a certain reflection, I would imagine. If you could go back and meet the younger you before embarking on the KISS journey, around about the time of Chelsea or even the Captain Sanity recording, is there any advice you would offer the younger you? Perhaps something to remember along the way?
Wow, you did your homework. Man, Chelsea, wow, holy mackerel. Boy, I was a boy. I was very proud of that. It was my first time on a really record on a label. You know, for me, I come from the streets. I'm a street kid. My family was not wealthy. There were 7 of us in kind of 4 rooms. And I learned that, you know, you just got to keep pulling for your dream. You really can't give up no matter what. And that's hard sometimes because you have to be selfish. And that's a terrible thing. But when you really want the dream to be something, I hate the word rock star. I can't stand that title. You really want to be a musician. You gotta just, you know, be a little selfish and a lot of, you know, some luck and the right guys maybe that really have a loving attitude and a respectful attitude to one another. And you just got to keep at it, man. Almost like keep going, banging your head into the wall. And just maybe someday, you know, with the grace of God, you'll get there. I never stopped because I wanted to get out of the streets. I was in bad gangs. I had a tough neighborhood when I grew up. It was a hard life. And so all the years I played nightclubs, I played every kind of music you could play, from Spanish music to polkas, to, you know, anything to make a nickel and dime. And I learned early in my career that singing, you know, if you sing and drum, you'll make more money. So I started singing, and it became a lifesaver. I wound up writing Beth, the biggest song in the band. So it's cool, you know. You gotta do it all the way, or don't do it. You gotta really do it, and you can't do it for money. You gotta do it from your heart. You'll never get there.
And look, thankfully you do have that earlier life, which, I mean, I don't know how music was entwined with the tough life that must have been the streets of Brooklyn, but that must have set you up for the battle with cancer beautifully. You just kicked its ass.
Well, again, you know, Cooper was a big thing, and it seemed, you know, once quite a few drummers, like Greg Besser and a few drummers have said that I was the perfect drummer for the perfect band. You know, it really is true. I don't think, you know, as the same with them, we were really all meant to do this thing together. You know, a lot of, I see now, over 40 years, I see major, I call them KISS babies we've had. There are major bands wearing a lot of makeup, blowing the stage up, and the world is, we really changed the stage as it is today. I mean, it goes down from the crew to you name it. You know, even Garth Brooks, for Christ's sake, blows the stage up. So we really made a big change in the world, and I see that, and I want to be a part of it a little more before the big guy calls me.
And look, you were the perfect link, I personally believe, between the likes of Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich. I mean, who could forget that tremendous drum showdown in 1966 on the Sammy Davis Show? And you carried their legacy into the next generation.
Well, you know your drummers, man, don't you? Yes, don't forget Willie Belson. But
yes, indeed.
You know, I meet drummers today, and a lot of them don't even know who we're talking about, which is very sad. Because, you know, the essence of it all, to me, was these guys. They really, for me, they were anyway. I learned so much doing that kind of stuff. And then when I got into rock and roll, especially in KISS, if you really pay attention, the drumming, my drumming fills are not rock fills, they're jazz fills. All the stuff in KISS's drumming is a lot of jazz stuff I did. And so immediately you're like, wow, what the hell is that? Well, it was just I was applying when I learned as a young guy playing my jazz and Krupa stuff, Chicada Thunder or Love Gun or Rock and Roll Night Party every day. They were very melodic drumming. It's my signature, man. You know it's me immediately when you hear it. Proud of that.
Without a doubt, absolutely. And there must have been a blur of significant events throughout your life and important moments. And I realise this is a very difficult question, but I must ask you, of all people, do you remember throughout all of your career a most memorable moment of tremendous, overwhelming significance and importance for you?
Absolutely. I'm asked, and I've been asked this a long time in my career, and it's got to be the night I played at Madison Square Garden for my mom and my dad. Because when I remember I was 13 years old, and I was in New York with my mother, and I passed the Madison Square Garden, and I said, "Hey, Ma, I'm going to play there someday for you and Dad. Mark my words." And sure enough, 1977, there we were. And I remember sitting, the curtain came down, I looked over, and there was my parents, like crying like children. And so did I, but you didn't see it with the makeup, so it's kind of hard. But for me, that was the most amazing, and still is till today, moment of my life that I got to see my mom and dad see me in one of the biggest arenas in the world. It's like, holy shit. That will always be my glory moment. I'll always hold that near and dear.
And without being melodramatic, to hear you tell that tale is breathtaking in itself. You are and always will be idolised and appreciated by so many the world over. For those who listen to your music and look at your picture and seek inspiration to follow their own dreams, what advice would you offer them?
To keep doing that. Like I said, you just can't look, this, the whole world today, the 21st century to me, the internet, it's too much information too quick. Everybody, I think, is really spoiled because you don't have to really work at anything anymore. You could just press a few buttons and you got what you need to know. You got to work at it. You got to go out there. I'm carrying my drums on a subway, which is the railroad we have here, at 5 o'clock in the morning, man. That takes a little doing to take 6, 7 drums on a train without the doors closing and losing them. And then carrying them up the all up these major steps, one by one because they weighed so much. But I'd be darned if I wasn't going to stop doing it until I got where I wanted to get. And again, that moment was at the Garden when I really, when I was a boy, I said I played it, and there I was a man now, and I finally got there. I think you just got to keep doing what your heart tells you.
Wow, brilliant stuff, wonderfully put, and we can't wait for the opportunity to celebrate your entire career one last time, and we truly feel privileged here in Melbourne that you have chosen us to celebrate. Along with the KISS convention, you'll be doing some signings and appearances there. Peter, I realise people are waiting on you. It's such a privilege to have spoken with you, and I cannot wait for the opportunity to meet you here in Melbourne.
Same here, man. You sound like a well-versed man. You sound like a real gentleman. I'm looking forward to meeting you, too. It should be a hell of a great night. God bless you, and you take care, okay?
I will do too. You too, Peter. Thank you very much for your time today, and travel safely.
All right, mate. Be good.
Goodbye.